The big bosses of TV talked about a perfect online world, like a dream on your screen where you could watch anything for just a little money, breaking free from old cable TV. But what if that shiny dream was really just a pretty trap made to catch everyone? Now, something dark is starting, and people are quietly talking about a secret fight back coming from the internet. We're about to show you a hidden battle for what you watch, and how the ones in charge are now the ones in trouble.
Tier that would come at a lower price, but that basically means you'd be paying a monthly fee to watch ads.
Through my credit card bill, because during the pandemic I'd signed up for a lot of services that I wasn't even aware I was subscribed to.
Those same companies that bragged about stopping piracy by offering something better, they're now shaking in fear as modern pirates rise again, smarter and stronger. This isn't your grandpa's LimeWire. This is a global wave of rebellion. If you grew up staring at the glow of an old TV, you remember how bad it used to be. Watching TV before streaming meant dealing with awful schedules and limited choices. Cable ruled everything. They made you pay tons of money for hundreds of channels you didn't care about, just to get the few you liked. Remember those confusing channel guides, the never-ending scroll, the family fights over one sticky remote? Cable companies ruled like kings. Viewers were like peasants, paying big for mostly junk. The power difference was just plain ugly. Then came the VHS days. Friday nights meant trips to Blockbuster or that tiny video store down the street. Finding a new movie was exciting, but it hurt when every copy was gone. The shelves were picked clean, and you always saw that sign, "Be kind, rewind." Late fees weren't small. If you forgot to rewind or return a tape, you paid big. Blockbuster wasn't just a store, it was the boss. They decided which movies you could see. They were huge and powerful, and if they didn't carry something, you might never find it. And if you wanted the big stuff, Mike Tyson fights, WrestleMania, or early movie premieres, you had to deal with pay-per-view. This wasn't regular TV, it was an expensive event. Sometimes it cost as much as a week's worth of food. People watched at bars or shared the cost with friends, crowding around one screen just to catch the action. The PPV system was made to leave people out. It was for the rich, creating a big gap between those who saw it live and those who didn't. Even back then, this made people angry. They were paying more and getting less. It was unfair. That anger was building up, waiting for a chance to explode, waiting for the right tech, the right moment, and someone brave enough to challenge it all. When DVDs showed up in the late 1990s, they didn't just make movies look better. They fired the first shot at the old-school entertainment world. DVDs were cool, tough, and packed with sharp video, booming sound, extra features, menus, and different languages. Suddenly, owning movies felt fancy. But it wasn't just buying DVDs that changed things. The way we rented them would shake up everything. Then came Netflix, not the huge streaming giant we know today, but a small, bold company started in 1997 by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. Their first big idea? DVDs by mail, no return deadlines, no late fees, just tons of movies ordered online and sent right to your door in those famous red envelopes. Hastings reportedly came up with the idea after getting hit with a $40 late fee for returning Apollo 13 too late. Netflix had a smart system called Cinematch that watched what you liked and recommended new stuff just for you. Video stores couldn't compete with that. While Netflix changed one part of the game, Redbox came in from another angle. Launched in 2002 by McDonald's, Redbox machines popped up everywhere, in stores, gas stations, and malls. For just $1 a night, you could rent new DVDs on the spot. It was quick, cheap, and perfect for impulse picks. This hit Blockbuster where it hurt most. New releases. Blockbuster, once a giant with over 9,000 stores, didn't take Netflix or Redbox seriously. They thought these new companies were small and silly. They tried copying them, but were always too slow and too stuck in their old ways. They couldn't give up those sweet late fees or change fast enough. In fact, Netflix once offered to sell themselves to Blockbuster in 2000 for just $50 million. Blockbuster laughed them out of the room, a laugh that would come back to haunt them as their stores closed down for good. Blockbuster didn't fail because of tech. It was because of pride. They didn't realize that people now wanted choice, ease, and no more hidden costs. Netflix and Redbox weren't just offering movies, they were starting a revolution. DVDs helped destroy the video store era and made way for something even bigger. In the mid-2000s, faster internet brought on the real revolution: streaming. Instead of downloading or renting, you could now watch shows and movies instantly over the internet. Netflix led the way again. In 2007, they launched Watch Instantly. At first, the selection was small and the quality wasn't great, but the idea was powerful. Thousands of titles available anytime for a low monthly fee. No lines, no waits, just click and watch. Streaming worked so well because of the tech behind it. It adjusted video quality based on your internet speed and used special software to shrink big video files without crashing your connection. This made it possible to find rare or weird content you'd never see in stores, and people loved it. Streaming once seemed like the amazing future of TV, cheap and full of choices. But what happens when a perfect dream starts to crack and turn into a costly puzzle? Soon, other companies jumped in. Hulu started in 2008, backed by NBC, Fox, and Disney, offering recent TV episodes for free with ads or for a fee without them. In 2011, Amazon added video to its Prime membership, making streaming a bonus for shoppers too. From around 2010 to 2015, streaming was in its golden age. Netflix had tons of movies and started making its own hit shows. Hulu had TV episodes ready to go, and Amazon gave you movies and shows if you were already a Prime member. Altogether, it was way cheaper than cable. You paid for what you wanted, and nothing more. Cable, with its expensive bundles and bad customer service, started to look like an old, broken system. Cutting the cord wasn't just a new idea. It felt like a personal win. The future looked bright, cheap, and full of choices. Or at least, that's what we thought. But those golden days of streaming were never going to last. From the beginning, it was a dream that couldn't hold up. The same platforms that once seemed cool and rebellious slowly turned into powerful, greedy giants. They realized something fast. Sharing the same old popular shows, like Friends or The Office, didn't make them special. If every service had the same stuff, why would people pick one over the other? So they changed the game. Instead of relying on old shows, they started making their own original content, just like HBO had done for years. This was how they planned to win, by offering shows you couldn't find anywhere else. Netflix fired the first shot with House of Cards in 2013. It wasn't just a hit, it was their hit. It showed that Netflix wasn't just a place to watch stuff, it was a place that made stuff. After that came Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, and a flood of other shows, backed by billions of dollars. Other companies followed fast. Amazon Studios launched Transparent and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Hulu hit big with The Handmaid's Tale. Then the big studios joined in. Disney, which owned Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and more, started Disney Plus in 2019 and pulled all its shows from Netflix. That move shattered everything. Warner Brothers launched HBO Max, now just Max. But we'll be going back to the original name, HBO Max, while NBC started Peacock, Paramount made Paramount Plus, and Apple jumped in with Apple TV Plus. The dream of picking only what you wanted turned into a nightmare of switching apps, forgetting passwords, and dealing with hidden fees. What once felt simple and smart became a money-hungry mess, where each new show demanded a new payment. By early 2024, people were getting fed up, really fed up. Families started sitting down to look at their streaming bills, and what they found was shocking. Take a pretty normal setup. Netflix is $18.99 a month. Max without ads is $17.99. The Disney Plus and Hulu bundle without ads is $24.99. Apple TV Plus is $9.99. Paramount Plus with Showtime adds $12.99. Peacock Premium Plus with no ads is $11.99. And if you want live TV, like YouTube TV, Hulu Live, or Fubo, that's another $75 to $90. That adds up to around $172 to $187 every single month. And that's not even counting the $70 to $100 most people pay just for internet. So even before you buy food, gas, or anything fun, you could be spending nearly $300 a month just to watch TV. It's no wonder so many people are mad. Streaming was supposed to be cheaper than cable. Now it feels worse. People are canceling, jumping between subscriptions, or turning to piracy. The promise of freedom has turned into a trap, and families everywhere are asking the same question. How did it get this bad? Suddenly, that old $150 cable bill with internet and a phone line didn't seem so bad. With growth slowing and investors demanding profit, streaming companies began jacking up prices. They started pushing ad-supported plans, which used to feel like an insult. Now they call it a value option. But you're paying to watch ads, the very thing people ran from when they ditched cable. So they turned to something they remembered from the old internet days: piracy. The internet doesn't forget, and it doesn't care about borders. This new wave of piracy is sharp, fast, and clever. Right now, piracy has become an underground world. People use VPNs to hide their location and protect their identity. The really serious pirates use seed boxes, super fast private servers that download files quickly and safely. With these tools, you can download almost any movie or show in HD within hours of its release. Then there are illegal streaming sites. These websites pop up all over the world, mostly in countries where copyright laws aren't enforced. They offer tons of shows and movies for free. But there's a price. You have to deal with annoying pop-up ads, sketchy links, and the risk of malware. Still, for many people, it's worth the trouble. These sites are like a game of whack-a-mole. Shut one down, and 10 more pop up the next day. Another popular method is through DDL sites, short for direct download link. These are websites and forums that gather links to files hosted on services like Mega or ZippyShare. Getting to the actual download often means going through annoying ads, puzzles, or sketchy programs, but the content is usually there if you're patient enough. There's also IPTV or Internet Protocol Television. For just $10 to $20 a month, often paid with crypto so it's untraceable, pirates can access a package with thousands of live channels. Sports, movies, international news, everything. Private groups on Discord and Telegram have also become digital pirate hubs. These encrypted apps host communities where people share links, tips, and even full files. Some groups are tightly guarded. You have to be invited or prove you're a real member. But once inside, there's a sense of loyalty and rebellion, like a team of people fighting against a system they believe has failed them. Allegedly, it's not just about the price. Some users claim that paying for streaming is a big headache. Imagine they paid for 5 services, but their favorite shows would suddenly disappear because of tricky rules. So these users feel piracy gives them access, helps save old shows, and is simpler to use than all those messy apps. That kind of anger is everywhere. People are tired of region locks, where shows are available in one country but not another. They hate DRM, the tech that limits how you can watch or save your content, and they're sick of having to search across 5 or 6 apps just to find a single show. To them, piracy isn't stealing, it's fixing a broken system. The companies thought that once streaming became big, piracy would die for good, but they didn't count on people reaching a breaking point. When legal options become too hard and too expensive, piracy feels like the only smart choice. And that's what's happening. Pirates are back, stronger than before, with better tools and bigger communities. One of the biggest areas where piracy is booming is in live sports, especially pay-per-view events. Big fights, UFC matches, and wrestling shows often cost $80 to $100 just to watch one night. If someone wants to watch all the big events in a year, they might have to pay thousands of dollars. That's just not possible for most people. After a UFC event charged nearly $95, one fan on a sports forum wrote, "I love this sport, but I'm not going broke to watch it." The free streams might freeze sometimes, but they still beat paying that much. And he's not alone. Lots of fans agree. What used to be a fun group event with friends or at a bar has become too expensive, so people watch alone at home on free, illegal streams. Piracy for live sports is a huge business now. Big companies like ESPN, Days In, and the UFC try to stop these streams. They have teams who track the links, shut them down, and even go after the people running the pirate websites. But it's like trying to stop a waterfall with a spoon. For every stream they shut down, more show up right away. The truth is, piracy isn't some small thing done by a few hackers in dark basements. It's a massive global network. It's smart, it's organized, and it's growing fast. And for millions of people, it doesn't feel like a crime. It feels like the only way to watch what they want, when they want, without breaking the bank or going crazy trying to find it. As long as legal streaming keeps getting more expensive, more complicated, and less friendly to users, piracy will keep rising. People just want things to be simple and fair. If companies don't figure that out soon, the pirates will keep winning, one download at a time. The quality of illegal streams is like rolling the dice. Sometimes you get a blurry mess that stops every few seconds and fills your screen with pop-ups. Other times, you get a clear, stable HD stream that looks just as good as the one you'd pay $100 for. Sure, there's always the risk. Viruses, someone stealing your account, or even legal trouble, but most people don't really worry about that. They're more focused on one thing, not giving their money to greedy companies. There are more streaming services than ever, but instead of feeling like we have more choices, it feels like we have less. Every show seems to be locked behind a different paywall. Prices keep going up, and the promise that streaming would give people more control, it's turned into a nightmare of confusion, anger, and rising bills. The people running these companies aren't completely clueless. They know fans are angry. They know people are quitting legal services and turning to piracy again. So now they're scrambling to fix things before it's too late. But the ideas they're coming up with, some of them feel like tricks, not solutions. One of the biggest plans being talked about is the return of bundles. Yes, after breaking apart cable packages and making people pay for each service separately, they now want to bundle them again. But this time, it might be Amazon or Apple offering a deal that includes Netflix, Max, and Disney Plus for a discounted price. The problem is, these new bundles might not actually save people money. It might just be the same overpriced content, packed in a shinier box. Another idea being thrown around is merging companies. That means smaller streaming services would be bought by bigger ones. This could lead to fewer apps and less confusion, but it also means less competition. And when there's no competition, prices usually go up. We could end up with a few mega companies controlling everything and charging whatever they want. There's also a battle happening behind the scenes. Streaming companies are using stronger tech to stop piracy. This includes better copy protection, smarter tracking, and even tools powered by artificial intelligence to hunt down pirates. But the pirates aren't giving up either. They're building better tools too. It's an endless game, each side trying to outsmart the other, and neither ever really winning. For everyday people, it's getting harder to know what to do. Every option feels like a trap. Others have become what we now call subscription jumpers. These people sign up for one streaming service, binge all the shows they want, then cancel and move to another. It saves money, but it takes a lot of effort. You have to keep track of when to cancel and what shows are coming out where. It's exhausting. Some people are giving up and choosing the ad-supported versions of streaming apps. That means you pay a little less each month, but now you have to watch commercials again. It feels like a step backward, but for many, it's better than nothing. And then, of course, there are those who just say, forget it, and turn back to piracy. They download what they want or watch on illegal streams. Sure, they risk malware or poor quality, but for many, it feels like the only way to get good content without being ripped off. Some don't even feel bad about it anymore. They say the companies caused this mess, so why should they follow the rules? The streaming wars were supposed to make things better. At first, it felt like they did. We could finally pick what we wanted and not pay for a bunch of stuff we didn't watch. But that dream didn't last. Now everything is split up again. Maybe you've already started jumping from service to service, trying to save money without missing your favorite shows. Or maybe you've had enough and now wear the pirate hat proudly. sailing the digital seas in search of the shows and movies you love, without paying a dime. Streaming costs fueling piracy? Are platforms to blame for this boom? What's your take? Let us know in the comments. Smash like and subscribe for more.